So today I want to go over one of the most requested tiki cocktails that I get, not only on this channel, but at the bar that I work at as well. When you work at a classic tiki bar, there are bound to be times when you get requests for cocktails that you just can't make. Now I've got a lot of tools to play with behind the bar over at Woosong, so I can make the majority of classic tiki cocktails. There are actually two that really stump me every single time. The first is the Pearl Diver. Now I've done this on this video, on this channel, so if you want to see it, I'll link a card up here and then a link in the description below. And I actually did come up with a hack of how I can do a Pearl Diver behind the bar at Woosong. So if you're in and you want one, let me know. And if you want to know that recipe of how I can do it, please let me know, drop a comment below, I'll be more than happy to share that. The second one that I get is a Missionary's Downfall. Now I can't do a traditional Missionary's Downfall because that is a blended cocktail, That is a blended cocktail. So what I've come up with is a shaken version of that. And that's what we're gonna go over today, a shaken version of the Missionary's Downfall. We're also gonna go over a modern take on the Missionary's Downfall, kind of my modern riff on it, called a Monastery Grounds. So I'm Andy, this is Easy Tiki Drinks, and you know the deal, let's do this. Now the Missionary's Downfall is an original Don the Beachcomber classic tiki cocktail from around the 1940s. It's unique in its sense of tiki classic cocktails because it includes like mint and not like as a garnish, but actually in the cocktail. It's served in a coupe and it's typically blended. So those are three things that you don't typically find in classic tiki cocktails, but it makes for a wonderful cocktail that honestly helps balance out a lot of the times where you get like that kind of like over acidic or over fruit juice. Like when you've got kind of that heartburn feeling from drinking too many tiki cocktails, a Missionary's Downfall just the right way can really help ease that pain. So before I get into what makes a classic Missionary's Downfall or my version of it, what I do want to do is go over the sponsor and thank the sponsor for today's video, and that is Tiki Lovers Rum. As you can see, I've got two of them here, and Tiki Lovers Rum, thank you so much for sponsoring this and sending me some samples of bottles of your rums that I can use in these cocktails because they fit perfectly. Thank you very much. Anyway, to make my version of a shaken Missionary's Downfall, let's see what we're gonna need. We're gonna need a lightly aged rum, peach liqueur, honey syrup, pineapple juice, lime juice, and not pictured here, mint leaves. So there you go. Nothing super like terrible or difficult to come by. The peach liqueur might be a little odd. For that, I am using the Gerlard's peach liqueur. Another great option here would be Gaffard's. For my lightly aged rum, I'm using Tiki Lovers White, and I really love how this white rum has a lot of that funk that you get from Jamaican rums, and it pairs really, really well with the pineapple and the honey syrup that's in this cocktail. So let's build this, let's taste it, let's see how it goes. So in a mixing glass, you're gonna add 8 to 10 mint leaves. Make sure to give them a nice little smack to wake them up. Next up, you're gonna add half an ounce or 15 mils of lime juice, 1 ounce or 30 mils of pineapple juice, half an ounce or 15 mils of honey syrup. At this point, we're gonna give it a nice little light muddle. Half an ounce or 15 mils of peach liqueur. And then 2 ounces or 60 mils of our lightly aged rum. We're gonna add some cubed ice to our mixing glass. And give it a nice hard coupe shake for about 15 seconds. We're gonna grab our frosted coupe glass and double strain right in. We're gonna grab a single mint leaf, get a nice little slap, and then place it right on top as our garnish. And there you have it, my shaken version of the classic Missionary's Downfall. Let's give it a sip and see how it goes. So this is a nice, sweet, tart, nicely balanced cocktail. It is a little hot. If you don't like your cocktails very boozy, I recommend maybe dropping the lightly aged rum to about 1.5 ounces. The peach is coming through really, really nice in this cocktail, and it's really, really supplemented by that honey syrup. Unfortunately, in the shaken version, we are just simply muddling the mint and then straining it out. I do lose it a little bit in this cocktail, and I wish I had it more. If I had blenders, it would be easier to blend this cocktail up, mince up that mint, and then kind of pour it into the coupe glass while it's still frozen. Then you get a really nice hit of mint. So because I don't get a ton of mint in this cocktail, what I wanted to do is create a modern version of this. Now, it's served in a coupe, which we get a lot in modern cocktails, but I wanted to change the format as well. And what I really wanted to do was really up the mint in this as well as the pineapple. So let's see what we need to make my Monastery Grounds. For the Monastery Grounds, you're gonna need a pineapple rum, Branca Menta, Passionfruit honey syrup, and lime juice. All right, so we took a 6-ingredient cocktail and we narrowed it down to 4 ingredients. And this is what we see a lot in modern day tiki cocktails, or even just modern cocktails in general, and that is the scaling down of things to simplicity. Not only that, but we're removing a lot of the waste and a lot of the extra dilution that we get from other syrups and other juices. And so this really helps concentrate the flavors within the cocktail themselves. You're also gonna notice kind of a little bit of an oddball here, and that's passion fruit honey syrup. Now, I haven't done that on this channel before. If you want the recipe, it's super simple. You're gonna combine equal parts honey and passion fruit puree. That's literally it. I got the recipe from Smuggler's Cove, that book. If you want your own copy, which by the way, it is a classic tome of tiki knowledge, I highly recommend you pick up one. I'll leave a Amazon affiliate link in the description below. It's super easy to make and it is super tasty, by the way. Now, let's talk about the oddball here, the Branca Menta, right? So Branca Menta is kind of an herbal minty amaro that I am substituting out for our mint in this cocktail. It's also gonna add a nice little bitter back note and help really balance out that sweet, that sour, and that bitterness that our modern palates are really looking for. So let's build my Monastery Grounds and then we'll taste it and see how it goes. So in a mixing glass, you are gonna add 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of passion fruit honey syrup, 1 ounce of Branca Menta, 1 ounce of pineapple rum. Add a little bit of pebble ice to your mixing glass. Give it a nice whip shake for about 5 to 8 seconds. Open pour into a double rocks glass. Top with more pebble ice. And garnish with a big bushy sprig of mint. And there you have it, my Monastery Grounds. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes. So before I even try it, just right off the nose, I'm getting a ton of mint. Not only from the Branca Menta in the cocktail, but this big bushy bouquet of mint. And that was on purpose. I wanted to use a mint garnish to echo the mint flavors from the Branca Menta. So let's now give it a try. That is a super well-balanced cocktail. The pineapple is coming through from the pineapple rum. The lime and the acidity is helping balance out that passion fruit honey syrup. Now, if you notice, I did negate or drop off the peach from the original Missionary's Downfall, and I'm supplementing that with the passion fruit and the passion fruit honey syrup. So it's kind of like a little swap. It's not, listen, this is not a Missionary's Downfall. It's a different cocktail, but it's inspired by the Missionary's Downfall and a modern take on it. That Branca Menta is doing a wonderful job of adding a wonderful minty back note to this cocktail. It is not overpowering. And honestly, I really love the Branca Menta in this cocktail, and I tried a Fernet Branca and it just didn't have the same. It was too earthy and too dark and rich for this cocktail. The Branca Menta's got a little bit more of like almost like a chocolatey mint note to it, which pairs really, really well with the rest of this cocktail. Let's go grab the other one. We'll try them side by side. How does that sound? Give me 1 second. All right, so as you can see, they're totally two different cocktails, and that's okay. Remember, this is not meant to be a replication of a Missionary's Downfall. This is. This is supposed to be a modern take on it. So let's try our shaken Missionary's Downfall again. Yeah, that is light, that is pineapple-y. Again, the mint is a little lost in that. Now the Monastery Grounds. Also, if you notice, I'm not using a straw for this cocktail, and that's on purpose. Because again, I want to make sure that while you're drinking this cocktail, your nose is right in that mint. And yeah, I could use a small straw, but honestly, I think sipping from the glass on crushed ice is an underplayed way of delivering a cocktail that we need to play around with a little bit more. So let's try our Monastery Grounds. Yeah, that is rich and dark and minty and pineapple-y, and it's almost everything this isn't, but in the best way possible. Two completely different cocktails, really based on very, very similar flavor profiles, and it just goes to show that no matter how you dice it, any single format or flavor profile can be done in multiple different ways. I really enjoyed this experiment, and I hope you guys did too. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click that little notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Go over on Instagram and TikTok, follow me there at Easy Tiki Drinks. And until next time, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'm Andy, and take it easy.